There's a moment in every soul's journey when someone walks away, not just physically, but energetically. They vanish into the mist of memory, leaving behind an ache that words can't touch. It's not the simple kind of loss. It's the kind that rearranges your soul, the kind that doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your sense of identity. Because you didn't just love them, you merged with them. You saw yourself through them, and when they left, it wasn't just them you lost. It was you, the part of you that only existed in their gaze, in their arms, in their voice. Carl Jung spoke of projection as the soul's way of seeking itself in the outer world. We project our unmet needs, our unresolved wounds, and our unlived potential onto others. And when we fall in love, especially deeply, intensely, almost spiritually, it is often not just love. It is the psyche's cry for reunion with its lost parts. You weren't just attracted to them. You were drawn to your own reflection. They became a symbol of the love you craved but never received, a symbol of the safety you once imagined as a child, a symbol of your sacred wound, the one you carry quietly, the one that shaped you when no one was watching. And when they walked away, that symbol shattered. And what was left? Not just grief, but chaos, the collapse of a myth your soul believed in. You ask yourself, why can't I let go? Why does this hurt so much? The answer is never just about them. It's about what they carried for you. The emotional weight, the psychological imprint, the spiritual energy you unknowingly handed over, they became the vessel for your unloved parts. And when they left, they took them with them. This is why letting go feels like death. Because something inside is dying, the illusion that someone else could complete what was never finished in childhood. You weren't meant to lose them. You were meant to meet yourself through them. They were never the destination. They were the mirror. And every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of rage or confusion or silence is the soul trying to reclaim its projections. But this is where the suffering deepens. Because you try to resist it. You hold on to memories. You replay old conversations. You look for signs, synchronicities. You wonder if they're thinking of you, if they feel what you feel. You cling to hope, not because you want them back, but because hope is easier than emptiness. Yet the psyche doesn't evolve through avoidance. It evolves through confrontation. You must sit with the absence. You must feel the ache, not numb it, not run from it, not spiritualize it away. You must descend. Jung called this the night sea journey, a plunge into the unconscious, into the shadow, into everything you've disowned in yourself and outsourced onto others. And it's terrifying because you have to face the truth. You gave someone else the responsibility to make you feel whole. You forgot that what you loved in them was already yours. Their presence awakened your longing, but the longing was never for them. It was for the parts of you buried under shame, fear, and silence. Now, those parts are rising, not to punish you, but to liberate you. Letting go is not abandonment. It is a remembrance, a homecoming to the self that no longer needs to be found in another. It hurts, yes, but only because you're becoming real. The grief is sacred. It is not a sign of weakness. It is the soul shedding its old skin. And if you stay with it, if you hold yourself like you wish they had, you will discover something astonishing. There is a moment, subtle, nearly imperceptible, when the storm begins to quiet, when the longing that once clawed at your chest becomes a soft ache, not because they returned, not because you forgot, but because something inside you has shifted. You have stopped reaching outward. You have begun listening inward. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But what he didn't say, at least not directly, is that this privilege often arrives wrapped in pain. And now you see why. Because pain is the psychic fire that burns away illusion. When someone you love disappears from your life, you are thrust into the raw material of transformation, into the shadowlands of the psyche, where nothing is stable, nothing is certain, and nothing is as it was. But this instability is not chaos. It is alchemy. And alchemy, as Jung taught, is not the transformation of lead into gold. It is the transformation of unconscious suffering into conscious meaning. You begin to realize you weren't just grieving a person. You were grieving the part of you that believed love was something you had to earn. The part of you that confused being chosen with being worthy. The part of you that believed presence could erase abandonment, or that attention could heal neglect. That part is now dying. And in its place, something ancient is awakening. Your soul. Not the romantic soul that writes poems about twin flames and cosmic signs, but the deeper soul. The quiet, enduring, eternal soul that was never lost, just forgotten. You begin to speak to yourself differently. You no longer shame the parts of you that feel too much. You begin to honor your depth, not as a flaw, but as a gift. You stop asking why they left and begin asking why you stayed with someone who couldn't see all of you. You reclaim your story. You rewrite the script. You begin to see that they were a chapter, not the ending. And in this spaciousness, something beautiful happens. Forgiveness, not the kind you give them, the kind you give yourself. For all the times you abandoned your own heart, trying to prove you were lovable. For all the ways you dimmed your light, shrank your truth, bent your boundaries, just to keep their love alive. You realize that letting go is not about forgetting them. It's about remembering yourself. And you do. In the silence, you remember the music of your own voice. In the solitude, you rediscover the richness of your own presence. In the heartbreak, you recover the essence that no one can steal. You don't become cold. You become clear. You don't become bitter. You become boundaries. You don't become numb. You become sovereign. And maybe one day you'll meet someone new. Or maybe you won't. But it won't matter the way it once did. Because you've fallen in love with your own wholeness. You've become the mirror you used to seek in others. This is the gift of letting go. Not the absence of love, but the return of it to yourself. You're no longer chasing ghosts. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You're no longer confusing presence with worth. You have chosen yourself. And that is the most sacred reunion of all. If this message stirred something inside you, you're not alone. Share this with someone else who's ready to walk the same path. And remember, here at the Unseen Psyche, your pain has a purpose. Your heartbreak has a soul. And your journey, however invisible, is real.